Hey guys, it's Kimlin. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag. I saw Destiny Sidwell do this. She just got all of the questions from her followers that I have here on my phone. I'm not going to talk in depth of each book. I'm just going to answer them based off the question and whatnot, because I will be going more in depth of all the books that I read in 2023 later on this month, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's get started. So starting off very strong is most disappointing book. So for this one, my most disappointing book of the year was Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. There were some books this year that I was disappointed by and I was very excited to read it and whatnot, but I would definitely say this was my most disappointing because it's been on my shelf for the longest out of all of the books that I have that I was disappointed of. I had this for like a year, almost a year and a half, and I only read it a couple months ago, and I was so excited to get into it because the premise of it seems so interesting. Like, what do you mean this girl's daughter goes missing and then like a decade or so later she starts dating this guy and his daughter looks exactly like her daughter that went missing? What do you mean? So that seemed very interesting and I was so excited, but I was just so disappointed about how eerie it was, disturbing to read, and not that mystery thriller feeling that I would rather get. Like, I want to feel scared, but this one I just felt very disturbed. It just felt like it was marketed for the wrong thing. There could have definitely been a different plot twist. My most disappointing book of 2023. Underdog book of the year. I think that means like it needs more hype. And I would say One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I talk about this book a lot. This is a 5-star book for me, but I rated it highly because of the message that it was giving, not because the actual like whole story that was happening. Like, this specific story is obviously kind of unrealistic, but the message, and I feel like people always look past that, but I feel like you have to go through something like that to really understand. But in just general, like, this, you gotta see past it. Next is a book that was overhyped. I have two answers for this. None of this is true by Lisa Jewell. I didn't want to put another Lisa Jewell book, but like, this came out this year. A lot of people were talking about it. Even after reading it, a lot of people still talk about how good it is. I think that, again, very weird, like trigger warning, pedophilia. I feel like there's just so many other ways to do mystery thriller books and like do all those twists and turns without bringing up gruesome stuff like that. Pedophilia, rape, abuse, and all that. And like the cliffhanger where you kind of have to decide what the ending is for yourself. I think that is just so annoying. Like, I went through all of that and had all of these theories and guesses of what is happening, and you're just gonna make me do it myself? Like, girl, you wrote the book. Kind of was a Verity 2.0. I think I liked Verity more than I liked this. And that's saying a lot because Verity is a Colleen Hoover book. The next book that I think is overhyped, don't attack me in the comments. I personally, Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I know that this is a very good book to start off with if you're starting into fantasy, and that is what I did. This was my very first fantasy book. I just think that like I can't get behind it of like why it's so exciting. Like, it's mediocre to me. Like, it was good because really saving it for me is the way that Stephanie Garber writes, how detailed it is and how magical it feels, Alice in Wonderland vibes. But even so, in the second book, The Ballad of Never After, it wasn't like amazing to me. I digress. Okay, so the next question is favorite book couple. Duh! I have Declan and Iris from Terms and Conditions, the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. Cal and Lana from Final Offer, the third book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. And Julian and Dahlia from Love Redesigned in the first book, the Lakefront Billionaire series. I know it's a favorite book couple, which is like one couple, but I literally cannot decide. I love them all. Actually, I think I can decide from these three. I think Julian and Dahlia are my favorite book couple. They're just so good with their emotions and their feelings, and found family aspect in it too. Like, ugh. I have an answer. Julian and Dahlia are my favorite. Sorry, I was very indecisive there for a second. Favorite main character, and I'm gonna have to say Dahlia. Like, she was the first person I thought of with this question. I have like a bunch of favorite main characters, but she's my favorite female main character. I feel like I related to her in so many ways with like therapy and anxiety and the way she was feeling. Like, I felt just so connected with her and how she's just trying to overcome that. Very nice to read about, and like her thought process and just the way she just does life. I feel like I saw myself a lot in her. Dolly is my favorite female main character. My favorite male main character, I'm like looking at my other books just in case I have like a different answer, but I don't think I do. I'm trying not to do like all of Lauren Asher's books right now, but my favorite male main character was Cal from Final Offer. I loved watching Cal's growth with his relationship with himself and with his alcohol addiction. He was such a good guy and always did things with the best intention. I just love him. The next question is a book that surprised you. I'm like answering this in like 2 different ways. A book that surprised me with like plot twist wise was Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. Did not see this plot twist coming, staring at the wall for like 5 minutes once it happened, and I want to reread this book like knowing what I know now. Definitely surprised me. I have another answer for this, a book that surprised me in a way that I wasn't expecting to like it, and that is the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey. I read that on my Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy, but I was very surprised that I was actually going to enjoy this book. Like I heard it all over Book Talk and BookTube way before, and I just was never interested in it, and I randomly picked it up and I was obsessed with it. Like I read those 5 books in like a week, and it was just so good. I'm very surprised that I liked both of those. The next question is new favorite author you discovered in 2023, and that's going to be Lauren Asher. I read the whole Dreamland Billionaire series this year, started her new one, and I'm also starting the Dirty Air series, and I love her. I would also say Alice Feeney as well. I've only read 2 of her books, but I think definitely Lauren Asher is my #1 auto-buy author. Happiest read of the year, I would say When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Happiest in a sense of like it just made me giggle and smile, and it was just really fun to read. Gilmore Girls vibes, and at the time of reading this I was watching Gilmore Girls for like the 4th time, so it just made me very happy to read. Loved this, loved the vibes. The next question is most frustrating book this year, and I was looking through all of the books that I read this year on my Goodreads, and I just was like, okay, things were frustrating but like tolerable. I couldn't really pick one, and then I saw the very first book that I finished this year, completely forgot about. All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Duh, literally duh, has the worst trope in the whole entire world of tropes done in that book, and it's a Coho book, so like come on. It was so frustrating to read about. I remember reading it and I was like, okay, what is happening? As time has gone by, I'm more disgusted by that book. It was frustrating and weird. Best adaptation of the year, I don't think I've watched any adaptation from any of the books that I've read. There is The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. They have a show on that, but I only watched 1 episode. I don't really have an answer for that one. They do have a movie for One True Loves, but I'm not gonna watch it because I feel like the movie is going to ruin the book for me. Longest book that you read this year, and that was definitely Final Offer. This book is 583 pages. This is definitely my longest book. Shortest book that you read this year, and that is The 4 Agreement. It's like a self-help book, but that has like 140 150 pages, so that is definitely my shortest book. Favorite book covers, my children, obviously. Like these covers are just in every single way so gorgeous. Like the details of it, the color scheme, especially in the Dreamland Billionaire series, like the color scheme matches with each other, so those are definitely my favorite covers. If I had to try to pick something else, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. The cover at first seems kind of ugly, but like after you read the story it's kind of cute because it's like yellow and like, you know. Also, I would say Once Upon a Broken Heart. This cover is beautiful. A book you haven't stopped thinking about. These 3, mainly these 2. Also One True Love. Last couple pages, like I have quotes engraved in my head. I feel like those are my only books I really think about often. Cringiest book that you read this year. I hate this book so much. 30-year-olds acting like they're 12. Even 15 is kind of pushing it. So cringy. This fake dating in the sense of, oh, let's just practice going on dates so I can help you out, when really like I just want to take you out. Like it's just so stupid, and I cringed just so hard in this book. And I feel like everybody loves this book more than they love the first one. But come on, really? This was Gilmore Girls vibes. This was Gilmore Girls fan fiction vibes. Good grief. Unpopular book that you loved this year. I was looking through my list and I was like, okay, a lot of the books that I read this year are very popular, but I feel like this one book not a lot of people talked about, maybe because a lot of people read it years ago. That is Swear on This Life by Renee Carlino. This was a 5-star book for me. It's just like the way I felt reading it. It was just a feeling, and it made me want to start writing my own book. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and I know a lot of people are more interested in the book that's in the book, if that makes sense. It's about this girl who starts reading a book and she realizes it's about her life and her childhood best friend wrote it. I think a lot of people should read this. Highest and lowest book on your Goodreads, and do you agree? I have to look. The highest one on my Goodreads out of the books that I read this year is the Mindfuck series that has a average of 4.64 stars. I would say rightly so. I agree with that. My lowest is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren that has a 3.7, which is still high. But yeah, that was like a mediocre Groundhog Day Christmas holiday book I read at the beginning of the year. I think that's rightfully rated. Lower than that is Funny You Should Ask by Lisa Sussman. That's a 3.6 star. I DNF'd that book, so I'm not really counting it. I think it deserves like a 3-star flat, not a 3.6. Favorite book quotes of the year. Okay. I need to reread this book, but I'm kind of scared that if I reread it, what if I don't like it? I am who I am because I loved you once. Just because something isn't meant to last a lifetime doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be. But I finally understand that it doesn't take away the beauty of the fact that we were right for each other once. It makes me so sad. Next. Sometimes people are worth the risk. Oh my god, I forgot how much I love this book. Ooh, some of these I can't say. I had lost my reasons for getting sober in the first place. What? Money? Hockey? The will to live a normal life? You, Lana. I lost you. Terms and condition next. I want to leave this world before you because I can't imagine having to go through a single day without you in it. We're done, we're done, we're done. Okay, those were my favorite quotes. I feel like if I keep reading, then I'm gonna like go insane. Most unique book concept. Swear on this life. I have like multiple answers. I can't like do like top tier. 7-Year Slip. Rock, Paper, Scissors. And I would say the Natural series. This is the second one I'm currently reading, but I think like that whole Criminal Minds aspect concept. Book that you would reread. I already said One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but I feel like kind of hesitant with reading that. So I would say I would eventually want to reread Beach Read by Emily Henry. I rated that a 5-star. It's a really good summertime book to read. The next question is reading goal reflection and 2024 reading goal. I started off this year with a reading goal of 15 books. That changed to 30 because I reached my goal and I'm currently at like 40 books right now. 2024 reading goal. I've mentioned I have a goal to read 100 books, but I think I might switch it to like 75. I want to really enjoy what I'm reading and not make it like a chore. Make it very fun and not make it feel like I have to read all of these books, because reading is fun. And I love just going in a different world. I don't want to do a goal that might be unrealistic, but I definitely think I could do it if I'm enjoying all the books that I'm reading next year. The last question is, what are you prioritizing in 2024 with your reading? If I don't like a book, I'm DNFing it. I don't want to waste time reading a book if I just know that I'm not liking it. Not have the mindset of, okay, just push through. Everybody says it's good. I don't need to conform to what everybody else is thinking. If I don't like the book, if I can't find any reason for me to finish the book, I'm going to DNF it. I'm just wasting time at that point and I'm just not going to give it a fair rating. Another thing is buy less books and like a reasonable time, if that makes sense. I went through a book buying ban the past few months. After my ban, what I did was I bought 3 books. I've read 2 of the 3 books that I bought. I'm currently reading the 3rd one. But as I finish, I'm going to like buy 1 more book. So it's like I'm not gonna buy like 10 books all at once. I don't know if that's making any sense, but I just don't want to buy just a shit ton load of books that's gonna last me a few months. Like I want to see like what am I in the mood for, and I'm going to buy that book. Make a good variety of romance books and mystery thrillers. And I have my Kindle. I want to use my Kindle more. Books are popular for a reason, and I want to see like what the hype is about, but I want to like branch out and see like other types of like romance books or mystery thriller books that I might like that I probably have never heard about and not see ratings of, to like get other people's opinion. Like I want to form my own opinion with a book before I see anybody else's, so I can see what type of books I like and types of books that I don't like. And I started audiobooks as well, so, and finishing series. I need to finish like the Chestnut Spring series, the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, the Natural series. Oh, that's another thing. I don't want to force myself to finish a series if I don't like it. The Knock 'Em Out series, I think I'm only gonna read the 2nd one. I'm not gonna read the 3rd one, and that's okay. Really prioritize like in disciplining myself to get some reading done. Like when I notice that I'm scrolling on my phone, girl, pick up a book. So those were all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have all the questions down below, so if you want to answer them in the comments, go ahead. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that, and I hopefully will see you guys in the next one. Bye!